Hello? Can you hear me?
Oh, yes, I can now.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right.
Okay. So Hood County just got here.
Okay.
So are you ready?
Is it 6876?
Yes.
1 second. It's coming. It's still coming.
Okay.
Come on. Well, maybe. Error occurred. Just
Oh
say
dear. You want me to have Jackie email it to you?
that might be a good backup. I mean, I'm looking at the queue. It's just not letting me. I Error occurred. Failure response. What does that mean?
I don't know. Where do you want it sent to?
I wonder if it's that I don't have to kimberly.allen.atty. Let's see if it's an internet problem. It's got to be an internet issue. And I'm not, for some reason, not connecting automatically. So that might be the best way to do it.
Okay. I've sent her a text to email it to you.
Okay.
You may have done that anyway.
Let me go to okay, but oh shoot, I'm not going to be able to pull it up on without internet access. I can't use that computer for anything. Hold on. Maybe I can do a split screen.
Are you Zooming with your phone?
No, I'm Zooming with my laptop.
Okay.
Um, well, shoot. I'm going to have to pull up the email on my phone. But I can do it if it came through. Okay, she tells me to log out and log back in. Well, if everyone's ready, I've got you can see and hear me, right? And I've got the paperwork
Oh
on
yeah.
my phone.
Okay. Okay. I'll bring everybody in. Ready?
Let me make sure I can pull up the plea first. Come on, damn it.
Okay.
There it is. Okay.
We are live on YouTube, by the way. Damn it.
Thank you. All
We'll
right.
take it down right after. Hello. Miss Walter,
Yes, ma'am.
can you hear me okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Very good. Ms. Walter, can you see your lawyer there on the screen? His name is Tim Sally. Tim, if you would unmute and say something so that you'll show up to her.
Yeah, I can barely hear you. Let me figure out how to turn my volume up here.
Could you hear him, Ms. Walter?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Be sure and speak up loudly enough so that everyone can hear you, please, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
And so is everyone present?
I believe so,
State's
Judge.
present, Your Honor.
All right. Court will now call case number 6876, the state of Texas versus Sarah Kathleen Walter. Is the state ready to proceed?
State's ready, Your Honor.
And is defense ready to proceed?
We're ready, Judge.
And ma'am, for the record, are you Sarah Kathleen Walter?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Walter, do you agree to have this hearing done remotely from you there in Hood County and us in Moore and Hartley County?
Yes, Your Honor.
And for the record, I am appearing from the Justice Center in Hartley County. Right, Ms. Walter, do you know, in cause number 6876, you have been charged with the offense of prohibited substance or item in a correctional facility. That is a third-degree felony. That means it is punishable by imprisonment in the institutional division of the Texas Department of Criminal Justice for a term not to exceed 10 years or less than 2 years. In addition, the court can assess a fine not to exceed $10,000. Ms. Walter, you have been charged with this offense by a document called an indictment. Do you want that document read to you, or do you believe you understand what you've been charged with?
I understand what I've been charged with.
And ma'am, are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, Your Honor.
Then I will ask you how you plead to this charge, guilty or not guilty.
Guilty.
Are you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily?
Yes, ma'am.
Has anyone threatened you or pressured you in any way to get you to make this plea?
No, ma'am.
But Ms. Walter, I am looking at a document called a felony plea of guilty, waiver, stipulation, and judicial confession. Have you gone over this document with your attorney?
Yes, Your Honor.
And it appears to have your signature, Sarah Walter. Did you sign this document?
Yes, I did.
And by signing this document, are you telling me that you think you understand the contents of this document?
Yes, ma'am.
In particular, do you understand that you're waiving your right to a jury trial?
Yes, ma'am.
And do you also understand that you are stipulating or you're agreeing that all of the evidence the state has against you is true?
Yes, ma'am.
And Ms. Walter, finally, this is an awkward question, but do you think you're mentally capable of understanding this plea agreement and what's going on in this court hearing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Right. Mr. Sally, have you consulted with your client and advised her of her rights?
We have.
Do you believe that she is mentally competent?
I do.
And do you approve of her signing these stipulations before the court today?
I approve.
Does the state concur?
State concurs, Your Honor.
Right, Ms. Walter, I am signing these stipulations and I will enter them into the court's record as State's Exhibit Number 1. Mr. Cook, is there a plea agreement in this case?
There is, Your Honor. In exchange for the defendant's plea of guilty, the state has agreed to recommend to the court that the defendant be placed on deferred adjudication community supervision for a period of 3 years, a fine in the amount of $1,500 assessed against the defendant, as well as payment of any court costs and fees to be paid by the defendant as well, Your Honor, and as reflected in the bill of costs attached to the judgment. Finally, restitution in the amount of $180 to be paid by the defendant and made payable to the Texas Department of Public Safety, Your Honor.
Ms. Walter, you've heard the Assistant District Attorney announce a plea agreement. Was that the plea agreement that you reached with him?
Yes, ma'am.
And do you agree, Mr. Sally, that that was the plea agreement?
I agree.
All right, Ms. Walter, I will follow the recommendation of the District Attorney's Office, and I will defer or put off a finding of guilt today. I'm not going to find you guilty of this offense. Instead, I'm going to place you on deferred adjudication, which is also known as probation, for 3 years. And so long as you follow all of the terms and conditions of probation, you will not have to serve any time. You'll never be convicted of this offense, and this case will be dismissed. However, if you do not follow probation's rules, I can sentence you to anything up to the full 10 years in prison. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Also, I order that you pay a $1,500 fine and $180 in restitution. That would be payable to the DPS for testing the drugs involved. These two amounts you can pay out over the term of your probation. Do you have any questions about this order?
No, ma'am.
Is there anything further from the state?
Nothing further, Your Honor. Thank
And
you.
anything further from defense?
Nothing further.
Right, Miss, let's see, Miss, is someone from probation present?
Yes, ma'am, it's Maria.
Maria, since the defendant is not here, how do you want to go about meeting with her and going over the probation terms with her?
I believe we're gonna do a Zoom visit with her. We do need her current phone number to go over the probation with her. So if we can get a current phone number for her.
All right. We're presently